Many conservatives argue today that Americans are living under the tyranny of an out-of-control administrative state, in which unelected bureaucrats, together with their allies in the courts, make critical decisions affecting their lives. There are, in fact, any number of ways by which political principles control bureaucratic agents. The problem is rather different. Democratically elected legislators want the government to do things without issuing clear mandates as to how this is to be done, and they fail to use the controls available to them. The bureaucrats are then left to fill in the blanks. There are 5 basic mechanisms by which political principles control bureaucratic agents in the United States today. These mechanisms include, first, ex-ante procedural limitations on discretionary authority, the most important of which is the 1946 Administrative Procedure Act that sets conditions for bureaucratic rulemaking. Second, ex post review, which is developed into a large body of jurisprudence known as Chevron deference. Many conservatives dislike Chevron deference, but it is not clear that we would be better off having the courts substitute their judgment on how to implement a mandate in place of that of an expert agency. Third, appointment and promotion power, which is set out in Article 2 of the Constitution. Fourth, removal power, which has become the chief mechanism that conservatives hope to wield to control the bureaucracy. And finally, number 5, ad hoc interventions by political authorities into bureaucratic decision-making, including the use of emergency powers, which is not in the federal Constitution, but in a number of state constitutions. The people of the United States, through their elected representatives, thus have multiple ways of controlling the bureaucracy. Why then do so many Americans believe the bureaucracy is out of control? The most important reason is that Congress has not lived up to its responsibility of making clear delegations of authority to the bureaucrats. Congressional mandates are often overly broad, ambiguous, or sometimes even contradictory, which agencies are then left to interpret. As I noted in an earlier video, delegation to the bureaucracy is necessary as Congress simply does not have the knowledge to issue detailed regulations. This has been the case ever since the first Congress in the 1790s, which delegated to Treasury Secretary Alexander Hamilton responsibility for cleaning up Revolutionary War debt. Our polarized Congress has failed to deal with carbon emissions, which is why the Environmental Protection Agency sought to use a decades-old law to extend its authority into that realm. This extension was rolled back last summer in the Supreme Court's West Virginia versus EPA ruling. You may not like the substantive outcome of the decision. I don't particularly myself, but it reflects the proper working of our check and balance constitutional system. The underlying problem was not the court, but rather Congress's abdication of responsibility for dealing with climate change. If you like this video, please go to my blog, Frankly Fukuyama, on the American Purpose website at the link at the bottom of this screen. Thank you very much for listening.